Welcome back to the show. I have Londa Nerland here.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're with the Center for Communication Skills.
Correct.
Now, what is it that you guys do?
Okay, well, it's at Learning Connections and Center for Communication Skills. I provide assistive technology for students, for some adults, primarily who need accommodations in reading and writing. I work with a speech-language pathologist to find augmentative communication applications or devices that will help someone who's not able to speak verbally. But we also, like I said, we do reading and writing accommodations for students with dyslexia, dysgraphia, autism. Technology is just not geared around a specific disability. It's geared around the tools that's needed, the tasks that are identified for them to actually make them more independent and more functional.
More independent. So that's the goal.
That is the goal.
You want to set people up for success in life.
Correct.
And if they have a disability, then you want to patch up that.
Right. Give them
area.
the tools that help make it more functional, where it is more independent.
Now, one of the famous people that came to mind was Stephen Hawking,
Right.
which you helped me identify there. Stephen Hawking is a genius of our time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
where would he be if he didn't have an ability to communicate all that genius that's in his head?
Right. Right. And
Do
there's
you
so
come
many,
across that all the time?
Yeah, and there are so many kids that you look at them and you think they can't communicate anything. They don't have anything to communicate. But so many times that is not the case. And when we give them the right tools, you give them the right, like for our speech language pathologist, the right therapy, they're able to communicate so much more than what people give them credit for.
Wow. So what are the devices that you guys primarily provide?
We see a lot of the iPads in the school systems, or even just in general. A lot of people use the iPads or iPods or the iPhones because they are so versatile and they're so easy to carry around. So we get a lot of kids that do use the iPads for communication or even just for writing accommodations. Easier to keyboard sometimes than it is to handwrite. And there's different accommodations that come with we can add on to the iPad. And that's what I do is, I find the technology, the different applications for an iPad or the applications for a Chromebook or for just a regular Mac computer. What kind of software helps them be able to get what's in their head out on to written form?
Let's see. Okay, so you're just basically filling in the gaps of what they're missing and able to provide them a voice. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I can't imagine being trapped inside a genius mind not having a way to communicate that.
Right, and it's frustrating. It's so frustrating for a lot of our students that can't communicate that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see it in behaviors because they're not able to communicate something, and so they act out because you're not getting what it is they want you to understand.
Right, and it's not that they're a troubled child, it's that they have special needs.
They have special needs, right.
That's good. People need to understand that more, and hopefully we're making strides in that understanding.
Right.
Well, thank you, Londa. What was your experience getting into this field?
Oh, well, my background, I did my undergraduate work, my bachelor's in speech and hearing science, and then I did graduate work in assistive technology, and I just love working with the technology, and it changes so quickly. Just 10 years ago, before we even had iPads, where were we at? And it's just becoming, it's a whirlwind, and I can't wait to see in the next 10 years what's the latest technology will be. So we're constantly, it does, and you're constantly having to stay up to date on all the different apps, the different technology that's available. We even have eye gaze systems where students who can't move their hands or move their fingers at all, there are eye gaze systems available where they can just use their eyes to communicate from a computer or from a dedicated communication system.
How wild.
Yes. Very
neat. Well, what is it that you guys are you a nonprofit, or what organizations do you guys mix with?
We get referrals from doctors, from psychologists. We're out there a lot, or sometimes we get IEEs through school districts that needed kind of like in a second opinion.
Okay.
So we have a lot of avenues that we tap into. Central Valley Regional Center is another one. We are NPA, so it's nonprofit agency. So we're able to go into the schools if we need to. So it's just, we have a lot of different avenues.
Wonderful. Well, how can people stay in touch if they'd like to get? Is there an opportunity to get involved
True, yes.
Okay.
You're always, people can call California Learning Connections Center for Communication Skills. The number is 228-9100, and I think it's on the screen. As well, you can email, that's my personal email, lnerland2@gmail.com, or you can go to the website, www.clconnect.com. And from there, there's a ton of services. There's occupational therapy, there's speech language pathologists, there's tutoring. There's so many services available for people to access. And now there's assistive technology services for people to access.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Londa, for coming on, keeping us informed and educated.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We'll be right back.